Being said, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
I will mute.
All right, thank you.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Huh?
Yeah.
We'll call the City of Bellevue Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order Monday, December 2nd at 5:30 p.m. Let's see, so roll call. What's helpful for you, Brian? Do we want to go around and say we're here, or do we want to just say we're missing one person, or what's?
I'll call names.
You'll do that? Okay, I'll.
Chairman Kurtz.
Okay, yeah, John.
Commissioner Hughley. Present. Commissioner Rootbill. Present. Commissioner Lindbergh.
Present.
Commissioner Weekson is gone.
Your camera's not working there, Brian.
Helps if I turned on.
Thank you.
There we go.
Okay. Notice agenda compliance. The regular meeting notice and agenda were posted in accordance with Idaho Code 74204 within 48 hours prior to the meeting at City of Bellevue City Hall, Post Office, on the city's website on November 27th, 2024.
I move that the notice for the December 2nd, 2024 regular meeting was completed in accordance with Idaho Code 74-204.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, conflict. Anybody have any conflict on the agenda tonight? Okay, we're good. For public comment for anything that's not on the agenda. Okay, hearing nothing. We'll move on to the public hearing. Brian, maybe I'll just go ahead and turn over to you.
Alrighty, yes, thank you. This is public hearing for a city initiated text amendment. This has been a part of the whole workings for a while now. The intent of this is to allow for more flexibility and to judge individual applications through the PUD ordinance rather than doing it zone-wide or citywide amendment to facilitate one project. And so the items on this agenda, or this text amendment, generally speaking, are allowing multifamily apartments or townhomes or condominiums in the B business zone, and then reducing the minimum size to apply for a planned unit development application from 1 acre to 1,500, or to not 50, 1/2 an acre in all zones except for the general residential and transitional zones. There are also some basic development standards for mixed use development in business zones. If they're going to have commercial multi-story, have commercial on the bottom, housing on top, it's single story or front act just as long as the commercial is up front and street level. Other than that, there's some excerpts from the comprehensive plan that identify some supporting language for this. The complete business zone chapter and PUD ordinance are in your code or in the binder. Like to make it very clear that this is not approving any specific application or anything like that. Anything that would be utilizing the PUD ordinance under this new provision would have to come back before you guys and city council in a new application and be judged based on the item chapter 24 of Bellevue City Code. That I'll stand for any questions.
Yeah, I'll start with a question. I think pretty early on, so in the chapter 7, the business district, page 2, so 1074, which I think is the conditional use list. So, and just to clarify what's in here, so this is saying multiple family dwellings, including townhomes and condominiums, as part of a mixed use development. So, in this current draft, it's not necessarily allowing only multifamily residential, everything is mixed with commercial,
That is.
right? Okay. Got it.
The ratio identified in 1075E is 50% of the ground floor area has to be
Mhm.
or a commercial space.
And so this is just then for the business district.
Yes,
Is that-
the reduced PUD minimum size is applicable to all districts except for residential and transitional. But the allowance of multifamily is specific to PUD, so.
So then this is, I guess, of course, different from what where we were going with. What, at 1.0?
Yes, and I will say, I don't wanna call this an interim ordinance, cause I have no end date on it,
Sure.
really, and things can happen, but this is kind of a temporary step to the larger equation.
And so what maybe, can you walk us through your vision then from the temporary versus the long term, and what does that look like? Just so I'm kind
So
of.
this is the temporary step, and then the long term is based on the work session you guys had 2 weeks ago now, I think. And the future, take the survey, attend the open houses,
Okay,
all that is gonna be a more substantial rewriting of the business zone code.
okay, so yeah, it is temporary then, in terms of, because this
Yeah.
help shape your future, then that's where we want to try to get to, at the end of Jan, or whatever our timeline.
Yeah, and
In February, and so this is just to get a spot between now and then.
yeah, so this is to allow a little more flexibility, allow projects to come forward that may be beneficial to the city or beneficial to the community at large.
Okay,
And they can be judged on their own merits.
okay.
I would like to provide a little more certainty to the development community through a more robust ordinance than, hey, what do you think?
Yeah,
I think adds the value and is more enticing to development and getting the kind of development we want to see. But in the meantime,
yeah,
if people want to come forward with concepts, we
okay,
have a
okay.
way to take a look at them.
Yeah, so that's, and then of course, then this would then become a recommendation to city council. And that they would consider or modify it and then approve it.
Yep.
Move on. Okay. That's.
Speaking of, the work session, just since I wasn't there and I don't think I've seen like minutes or anything, what discussion did you pull from that to kind of put this together, if that makes sense? Was everybody else there? At that work session?
Requirements of getting public notice out and packet for review, for anybody that wants to come by City Hall and look at it. I had to write this ordinance in advance of that meeting.
Oh,
So there's really not a whole lot from that meeting, well, nothing
oh,
that
gotcha,
went
yeah.
into this particular ordinance.
Oh, okay, like that work session was really having to do with your longer timeline.
Yep.
I see. It seems smart then to be, thinking of something that can get us by in the meantime. Like, cause that was kind of the push, right, with the original project, it was like, we had an applicant, we had a project that wanted to go down, and it was definitely driving, the work on it, so I think it's good that, we can take time with a longer term project, figure out what the best way to go is, but have something that can help us get people and get those projects started.
Yeah. Process wise though, if something comes in the door then between now and say end of February or whenever that passes, gets finalized through city council. What happens then in the interim? We get an application in, then we hear it on this, but then we settle on something different at the end of that. The phase 2. How do we resolve those inconsistencies? Or if there are.
Application is judged on the code as it stands the day the application was submitted.
Okay,
So if they submitted it today and wanted to do multifamily in their business zone, it would be a no,
yeah,
it's prohibited use. If they submit it after council approval of this ordinance, theoretically, it would be under this ordinance. If they submit it under the new ordinance, plan for early spring, it would be under that.
yeah, okay,
Whether that comes to you in hearing on whichever active ordinance that is, it's still whatever date they submit the application.
okay, fair enough.
Does anyone remember if we had talked about gas stations being permitted versus conditional? I don't remember if that was part of our previous discussions.
We definitely talked about it. I can't remember. I think we landed on potentially moving gas stations to conditional.
I thought so.
That's what I
Yeah.
saw was conditional.
To me, if I think about a downtown, a true downtown, you know, forget about zoning. I don't picture gas stations and car washes in a downtown area. So I say that when I look at our downtown, our business district, it's long. And so it's like, and it incorporates a lot of different business types. So it's kind of, I struggle a little bit with that. So it makes sense for our business district, but it doesn't make sense for what I envision, like the handful of blocks really that make up downtown to me. I don't know how you guys feel about that, or if it's worthy to try to weave that into this or not, or.
My inclination would be probably to not try and weave that into this, but try and weave that into this.
Yeah,
You know, whether it's like a downtown overlay district or something like that. I don't think you'd wanna try to do like a separate zoning category for a downtown, but I think a downtown overlay would be potentially useful.
yeah,
And I think that's outside the scope of what we could accomplish with this.
yeah, I would agree with that, yeah. I just wanna kind of throw that out there, so you brought it up, Alexis.
I will plug take the survey once again. There are specific questions to everything you guys just discussed.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Excellent. Anyways, when does that survey come out, or is it?
You can take it right now, scan the QR code.
Oh, okay.
I have not officially issued a press release, Tony, it'll be coming tomorrow, but it is up and doable. It will be open through the end of the month.
Yeah. I was gonna do
Okay,
it.
thank you. Sorry, Brian, did you say that would be coming tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I love QR codes. Yeah,
Yeah, let's see, you guys have, other questions on? Good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't wanna like try to pick apart a bunch of things if we're feeling like it's temporary, cause I mean, I think that like at its heart, it's really good and gets where we're going. I think the only thing I'd written down to talk about was like the density bonus options, but you know, just not saying whether they're good or bad, just to really talk about them, but I mean, I'm glad they're in there, so. That's good, yeah, I just don't know if we need to take a lot of time if it's meant to be temporary.
Yeah.
Unless we think that something's gonna come in the meantime and get approved and it's not what we want it to be, you know?
I mean, I feel like this substantially accomplishes what we were trying to put into effect as like you know, we know this isn't a perfect, perfect text amendment. But it allows some flexibility and gives us some some discretion to evaluate projects that we think might be valuable and in keeping with what we need. But not opening the floodgates wide to just anything, and also not trying to do too much, without a more robust, like, public input process.
Yeah.
So I like what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, I didn't have any concerns. I'm assuming then also Brian in the PDD, chapter 24, what you put in, you underline.
Was that?
What you put
Yeah.
in here. what you-
All changes are underlined.
The inserted language is all on.
I don't think I struck anything out in that section, in that chapter, but if I did, it is strikeout.
I did see, I just saw the underline. Yeah, I didn't have any, I think it's taking us in that direction.
I don't think I've seen an application under the PUD before, because reading all of this, I was like, this seems new to me. But, this was already part of our code.
Yeah, the lower part of the
Well,
code.
that seems really frustrating to me, especially when we had so much conversation about density bonuses and stuff, whether to do them or not, and this was sitting out there this whole time, So that's just a comment before.
There's very little land in the current city limits that is a contiguous acre,
Mm,
so.
Yeah, that was interesting, here we got this great ordinance, but not great, but it was, but we could implement
I mean, there's a lot in it already, yeah.
it, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, we can go ahead and open it up for public comment if there's any other questions we got. So, yeah, go ahead.
Hi there, my name's Joel Ansari with Vital Inc. Architecture, and I'm here with my partner on this endeavor with regards to what you guys are considering for the text amendment. Meaning, I joined our team a little bit later on, and apparently there was a dialogue and a submittal that was shared conceptually with you all that maybe rekindled the interest in this multifamily mixed use in the business district. My experience of paying attention to Bellevue for a long time has to do with the ordinance didn't allow mixed use multifamily, and they're less than 1 acre, right? And when I had this opportunity to work with this team, that was a stopping point from a development that is potentially on the table. The thought of waiting for a city to truly change an ordinance is normally a long endeavor. And I've known Diane Shea for a long time, and she was working on changing the ordinance with you all many years ago. So this idea of a text amendment, which I applaud you for Brian and the filling of the position and the person that filled the position coming up with this PUD suggestion. And as for me, the old expression, I could have had a BA, I was like, oh, that's the, in my opinion, perfect solution. If I was in your shoes on the P&Z commission, it's like, all right, there's a way to allow something to come in front of you according to what your ordinance already has, and therefore you can judge the project on its merits, okay? And the beauty is you can reject it if it doesn't meet that in the fine line ways that you can. So as a team here, we wouldn't come to the table. The goal is to come to the table for something that's favorable and would get approved, right? And so this idea of a PUD is rather brilliant, common sense in my approach. I would have never thought of it. I was like, yes, excellent. But then the really neat thing is, the fire behind this new guy, I'm looking at you, is you guys are talking about having these workshops, which I was at the one the other day, and therefore you're faster paced when these things can take years in other jurisdictions, that maybe finally you guys have got the gusto to get this actually, to get a real updated ordinance for the business district. So I'm saying in allegiance to you all, and this is my long-term, valley community city as well, I live 2 miles out in the country here, that we're gonna attend those planning meetings. And in theory, the goal was to get a project able to be submitted and reviewed so that we can hit the 2025 construction season. So that's where this text amendment would come in. So we'd be the team that you'd be seeing with a package in front of you in the near future. But at the same time, we're gonna watch the evolution of the new ordinance in case for whatever reason, you're super fast in that, and all of a sudden, I'm slow, 90 days, 120 days out, and then you guys like rockets get it all approved, well, then we'll have to meet the new ordinance, so we're gonna really be paying attention to what that does as well. So in all in good faith, either way it goes, however fast you do it, we're here to get something that's approved or whatever ordinance you have at that time that is proper for our common city here. So I think you're safe with the PUD plan, my own opinion on that, and I love how fast you're going after the real ordinance changes. Oh, I correct. I thought there was a typo to clarify, but Brian's got it right in the underlying text that he wrote.
Thank you. Yeah, I do get, the one thing I wondered about when I saw the half acre, it's like, well, what if somebody comes in and they're like, right at the half acre, just, is there like a plus or minus, or what do you? How do
He's
you?
got it.
The language is at least 1/2 an acre. If they're close, they should get it professionally surveyed and submit documentation that they are 0.5 or greater.
Okay.
And our project is 0.50. It's on that exact at least.
Okay. Alright. Okay, any other, thoughts based on public comment or any other questions?
How many lots meet that half acre threshold? Do you know?
I didn't pull exact numbers. Go to your map.
You're asking how many lots made up that half acre?
Yeah.
3, because I do a lot line abandonment.
So 3 standard city lots is 6,080. 18,000, half an acre is 21,000, so a little over 3. But how many
I'm just
areas
wondering
of the city?
how much opportunity we're
right.
opening up with this.
There's not a lot of land in the business zone. There's the vacant lot where 208 Tacos was this summer. I forget the name of it, the business park between Atkinson's and Family Dollar and all that. A little bit up north of there's some land. I think that's pretty close to it.
So it's a small handful of
Yeah,
opportunities.
and then, in other zones, there's maybe more in the industrial zone.
May I make a comment, please?
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Well, thank you. You all look
Thank you.
fantastic. And I also love that red, brown, gray shirt. That's the coolest shirt I've seen this fall. Good job. Really, all I was really standing in to say was, well, you can read articles in the Mountain Express, and you can read, City of Bellevue news releases, but I do own a non-conforming lot. So I don't really understand where it leaves those ones. And okay, it leaves it in a non-conforming situation and with urge to change or not change or just be. So that's where I'd really like to get more clarification on, I guess. And thank you.
Thanks, Matt. You wanna?
Yeah, there's no proposed changes to the non-conformity chapter in this one. I would encourage Matt to come and stop by the office and chat with me on his property and what options may be available.
Great.
But I know my options that are available and they are long-standing, and I like it. But it's also, so where is your office, sir?
Right upstairs, 115 East Park Street.
Okay, and you are?
I'm Brian Parker, I'm the Community Development Director.
I did not know you. I'm sorry.
I'm new.
Okay. Um, Anything else with regards to this, I guess this, this is, that is an action item,
I did see,
oh, there's somebody
he's
else.
gone,
Oh,
Florence, first leader.
oh. Alright. So yeah, this is an action item, we can, motion. If we're ready to,
So just to clarify, since I didn't see the language there, we're just, moving to approve the city initiated text amendment, is that?
Recommend to council.
Thank you. I'll recommend, sorry. I'll move that we recommend to council a city initiated text amendment to the Bellevue City Code for chapters 10-7B for the business district and 10-24 for the planned unit development to permit multifamily dwellings through the PUD applications and reduce minimum lot size required in PUD applications.
Second.
all in favor?
Alright.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Let's work around.
Thank you.
Okay, so, new business, also action item, Ryan, thanks for putting together those bylaws.
Yeah.
That's, very, helpful and refreshing to see something there, in writing, is easy to understand and follow. I'll turn it over to you if there's things.
I don't have a whole lot other than what it says in there. These are, basically exactly the city of McCall's planning and zoning commission bylaws. I just repurposed them. Says whoever is the most senior member serves as vice chair, gives how the agenda is to be assembled. Some basic primers on public hearing, order of operations.
I'm in favor, means I don't have to do it, I don't have to be vice chair.
Well, just in case I'm sick and, I guess it could trickle down to you.
We wouldn't have quorum.
Yeah. True. Okay, so you're off,
I'm off the
you're
hook.
off hook for now, but there's elections coming in January.
Yeah,
so,
no, true.
So that, it could, the whole thing could change.
Clicking some buttons. Election buttons.
Vote for me.
Well, I think it's good. I don't have any comments or changes. I think it's nice to have something, that this is how we operate.
I put on the agenda as a just in case action item. I also put January 2025 as the signature date, and that so then we can remember to do it every January.
All right, oh, to approve them every year.
Yeah.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry to show my ugly face to you all. You did have an architect celebrating out the door, so that's probably a good thing. Sorry to bug you. And you do well. I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. Bye, bye, bye. Take care.
Okay, well, yeah, I was, I don't wanna rush us, but if there's, we're comfortable with the bylaws, I can entertain that motion.
I'll move to approve the bylaws as drafted.
Clear, second,
I will second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes, okay. Next meeting, December 16th, is anyone not available?
Yeah,
I think I'm around,
I'm not.
but if there was nothing we had to do, I would not be sad if we didn't have a meeting.
but I can definitely be at one of the open houses, but yeah, the 16th. I have another meeting.
Do we have anything on the, do you know, Brian, or,
And I don't believe we have anything on the agenda at this point.
okay,
We'll write down. Do you want us to, like, some of us to be at each of these open houses? Oh, like, I mean,
I mean, definitely feel free to drop by. I may recruit volunteers to staff things. I haven't quite thought that far ahead yet, but I'll send y'all an email if I
Mhm.
need assistance.
and they're on the 17th, 18th. Right here.
do you just plan, like, what are you gonna do at the open house?
Oh, I'm picturing some poster boards and, sticky pads, but with dots and that sort of.
Nice. Oh, kind of like taking the survey a little bit,
Yeah, a little more
but
interactive.
interactive. There's something funky going on with the survey, just on the one that says, where would you say Bellevue starts and ends? But like, it labels each street and then it lists all the streets to select, and then it does that every time. For them, make sure. Like it, there's where it starts, but then it just keeps like going.
That's correct. It is not, it makes a lot more sense if you look at it on a,
Oh.
computer. I'll have to adjust that a little bit.
I can click a bunch of them.
It's supposed to be like a grid where you say it starts at Chestnut, it ends at
Ooh,
Beach. Right? You kinda,
oh, starts and ends, oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Cool, yeah, I look forward to checking it out.
Maybe. Mark.
Okay, well, I guess we're done here, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'm gonna adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi,
Alright. We are done,
that was speedy.
yeah, super fast. Well, good job, Brian, for
Jumping
taking
in.
the bull by the horns and going for
Absolutely.
yeah, nobody tell me no, so.
Whoa, slow down.
it. Yeah, yes.
Wait,
Hold on, we don't-
this is government